Hey everybody, I am happy to be back in the kitchen today, and I am starting off with my second episode in my Back to Basics series. Today we're going to be covering eggs. You either love them or you hate them, or you're indifferent. I personally love eggs. Lots of people are allergic to eggs, and that's unfortunate, but if you know how to cook an egg, then you'll always be able to feed yourself. It's that simple. And eggs are subjective because everybody has their own way to cook an egg. So I can't show you the right way to cook an egg. I can show you the way that I cook eggs. Um, and I can kind of coach you along so you see there are different methods and there are different ways to get to a preference. Um, I know it sounds a little confusing, but trust me, we'll get there. So I'm starting out with boiled eggs. Now, boiled egg is versatile. You can use it as a base for an egg salad. You can chop it up and put it in chicken salad. You can put it in tuna salad. You can do whatever you want to with it. You can just eat it. You can hunt for them in the yard if you want to at Easter. So, I mean, the boiled egg is so versatile. And today I am using chicken eggs. That is the most popular egg in the United States is a chicken egg. These came from my friend Beth's chicken coop. They're wonderful. I love free range eggs. What I did, I took a pot, this particular pot, and I filled it full of cold water. And I only wanted to cook 2 eggs, so that's why I was able to use this small pot. If you're going to be cooking 6 or more eggs, then you need to use a considerably larger pot to cook them in because you need that surface area with the water so that it can get hot and everybody can get a little boil action going without clunking into each other. What I did, I filled this full of water, cold water, and I put the eggs in while the water was cold. I put a quarter teaspoon of salt in the water. Now that salt supposedly dissolves and it soaks into the eggshell because eggshells are permeable. That just means that moisture and air can move in and out through the cell membranes. Well, that's basically what's happened here is that we want that sodium to penetrate the shell so it helps it come off easier. I know it's more science in the kitchen. Go figure. Anyway, um, you heat the water to a rolling boil, and then you cover it, and then you remove it from the heat. You let it set for 10 to 12 minutes, and that's how you get a good hard-boiled egg. If you want a soft-boiled egg, you would only leave it in the water between 6 to 8 minutes. And soft-boiled means that the white of the egg, the albumin, has just set up. It's not runny anymore. It's not rock hard. And the yolk has just started to set. It's a little translucent still. And it's yummy. I love a soft-boiled egg, but I'm going to show you the hard-boiled approach since hard-boiled eggs are generally what people use in things, in recipes. So after these have sat for about 12 minutes, you saw I just took the lid off. And these suckers are just sitting here happy as bugs and rugs. I'm going to remove them from this and I'm going to put them in a cold water bath. This has ice and cold water. So I'm just going to spoon them out and boom, right into cold water. That helps to stop the cooking process, and it's also going to help shock the egg so it comes away from the shell. Because shells are terrible sometimes, and I've had many a carton of eggs that I just wanted to throw in the yard that I was trying to peel because they stick to the shell, and it's aggravating. But that's neither here nor there. Let me put this to the side, and I'm going to move my trusty cooktop here so that I can bring in my egg. Now you see that they're just floating in the water. And you let them sit for a few minutes, but I'm just going to dive in because that's how I roll. So I just take the egg and I crack it against the side of the bowl. And you can dunk him down in the water and just kind of smoosh him around like that. Now don't be strong-handed with him. You just go lightly and you just kind of crunch the shell because we want the shell to come off, but we don't want to hurt the egg. You might crush your egg if you're too rough with him. So be gentle with your egg, people. Gentle with your egg. Now look, it's coming off so nicely. Stick him back down in the water, and look, boom, he just popped right out of that shell. I love that. And that's my hard-boiled egg. Now I'm gonna show you what he looks like. I'm not gonna do the other one yet. I'll just leave him sitting here because you know I've got him. We'll set this here, and then I'm gonna get a knife, and I'm gonna cut it in half. I'm gonna show you what this guy looks like inside. See, look at that. This yolk has cooked up. It's nice and solid. There's no translucentness to it at all. It's cooked all the way through. And so this is a good hard-boiled egg. So it needs salt, but you get what I'm saying. It's a great method. Cook an egg is easy. Yum yum. There you go. We're going on to our next cooking method of cooking an egg. I'm going to show you how to fry an egg. Grab my frying pan. Turn my trusty little camp stove on. And I'm going with about a medium flame. I'm not trying to burn the house down. And I don't want to cook my eggs till they're crispy critters. I just want them to cook nice and easy with a medium heat. So I'm using this pan that is, it doesn't look like your typical nonstick pan, but it does have a nonstick coating. I find that when you fry eggs, at least for me, I gotta have a nonstick pan. I have tried to cook eggs before in a cast iron skillet because I've seen so many people online say, I love to cook eggs in my cast iron skillet. I can't get the stinking things to come out. I always end up breaking the yolk and it makes me mad. So I'm just telling you that this method works best for me. Non-stick pan. So stick my little pan on the fire. I'm going to bring it up to temperature. Let it sit there a minute. Now listen, if you don't get any other information out of me in any of my videos, any of my series, listen, here is the golden rule. Hot pan, cold oil, food won't stick. I'm telling you, and it works. If you heat your pan up and then you heat it with cold room temperature oil, whatever fat you're using, 9 times out of 10, whatever you're cooking is not going to stick to that pan. I don't know why it works, but it does. So I'm going to let this heat up for a minute just so that I can have a hot pan. I don't want it smoking, screaming hot. I do want it hot to where it might sizzle a little bit if I drop a little water. And it's not there yet because my water just beads up on the bottom. So we're going to let this just sit for just a second. And I'm going to tell you what I'm using. I am using as my fat today butter, shocker. And I'm also going to use a little olive oil. Olive oil and butter are a good complement to one another because if you're just using straight olive oil, which is fine, you'll just notice that the burn point is a little bit higher and you are likely to run into burning your egg before you're ready to flip it if you're just using olive oil and you're cooking it too high. If you use olive oil and add a little butter, that difference in fats, the combination works so wonderful together and it elevates the burn point. So you can cook at a higher temperature. And I like the flavor better, a little bit of butter, a little bit of olive oil. So I'm going to try my water trick again. Oh, it sizzles. Do you hear that? So that tells me that this pan is hot. It is ready to take my oil. So I'm going to put a little oil in my pan. Now, I generally cook one at a time just because, well, I know me. And if I'm trying to cook an egg sunny side up, or if I'm Sunny side I can cook 2 or 3 together, but if I'm trying to do one by flipping it and cooking it over light or over medium, I got to have a big pan to work in because, well, I'm a hot mess and I will break that yolk sure as the world. So in my pan with a little olive oil and butter, I'm mixing this butter in. Boom. And now I am going to grab my egg. Move it around a little bit. Eggs are really great, y'all. You can eat them for breakfast, you can have them for lunch, you can eat them for dinner. And do you know the eggs along with rice? Remember in my last video, I said that rice is a staple product for 90% of the world. They depend on rice as their main carbohydrate. Well, I don't know the percentage as far as people depending on the egg as their main protein, but I bet you $5 it's high because eggs are readily available. People have chickens. It's just the nature of the beast. So, now look, I'm going to have to cut this down just a little bit because it's a little hotter than I want it. Because here's the deal. I do not like for my eggs to be brown on the bottom. And if you give Brad Musgrove an egg that has any brown on it, he's going to throw it on the floor for the dog to eat. Because he just doesn't like it. It's not his preference. And I don't like it either. I don't. So if you cook at a low enough temperature that you're still getting good bubbles and it's still sizzling a little bit, then that's just telling me that my temperature is right on target and it's exactly where I want it to be. So after I've cracked the egg in here, I'm going to let him sit for maybe a minute. And that is allowing this part of the white, you can see it's the big bubble part, it's allowing it to cook through so that when I do flip it, it's going to be perfect after just a few minutes for an overlight egg. So I shimmy my little flipper up under him, and then I just flip like that. Now, it wasn't a perfect flip. I didn't tell you that I was a perfect flipper. But look, there isn't any brown on that egg. And that's perfect for me. Because, well, like I said, I don't like brown on my eggs. So, we can consider this egg is a done deal. So, I would want to take him out without breaking the yolk, which I did break the yolk. Look at that. But you know what? It's okay, because there's still plenty of yolk under him that didn't get out. So, what are you going to do? Life happens, y'all. So, let's cook another one and let's make it a little bit more done. Because there's a ton of people who, if you hand them an egg with a runny middle, they're going to throw it at you. Okay, so maybe they wouldn't really throw it at me, but they wouldn't be happy with it. So while this one's cooking, I'm going to show you this other one that I cooked over light. Sitting here with my lovely boiled egg. I cut into it. It's runny, yummy goodness. Well, I guess more of it escaped than I wanted. Dang it. Oh well. It's still a good egg. So, let's see if I can get this one to flip and come out of the pan perfectly, and then it'll be nice and runny. And you notice that butter in the olive oil, it's not burning at all because I am cooking at such a low temperature. But my egg has got opportunity to get plenty done. So, grab it under him. Like that. Ooh, give him a flip. I'm a terrible flipper. Maybe I shouldn't be doing an egg series. No. I'm a prime example of real life. This is real life teaching you to cook. Because life isn't perfect, y'all. And I am not either. But I can keep you fed. And that's the main thing. So if you were a stickler about time and stuff, and you wanted to make sure that it was perfectly 1 minute on one side, and then you cook it for 30 seconds on the other side, well, you know, you're welcome to keep the timer going, but I don't, because I just eyeball it, because I know about what it's supposed to look like. So, let's pull this over. This is going to be what I would consider an over medium egg. See that? Yeah, that's the runny that we want to see. It cooked for about a minute on one side, and I flipped it and let it sit for about 30 seconds. It cooked the white completely, but it just warmed that yolk. And that's my idea of a good egg. I love that runny yolk. But if you give my mama a runny yolk, she might cry. If you made her eat it, she would cry. I'm just saying. So, I'm going to cook one more for you. But this time, I'm going to cook a different kind of egg. Because, well, we went to the farmer's market this weekend over in Dawsonville. And I bought a whole dozen of duck eggs. I want you to look at the difference in the size. This is a chicken egg from my friend's farm. And this is a duck egg. Now, I'm not kidding you. All these duck eggs are ginormous. Look at that compared to this little chicken egg. Duck eggs. Have you ever had a duck egg? Well, I'm going to show you a duck egg. It's not only big, it tastes just like a chicken egg. I mean, really, the shell is considerably thicker though. And look how beautiful that yolk is. It's bright orange. Eggs. Who knew? We just let him cook a minute. This one, I'm not going to let him be runny. I'm going to cook him what we call dead on arrival. So I just take my spatula and I just cut through that yolk. If you're having a sandwich, an egg and cheese, egg and sausage sandwich, and you want an egg that wasn't going to run off the plate. So you want to cook it like this. This is just a minute on one side, break that yolk, and then we're going to flip him over here in a second, and we're going to cook the other side completely so that all this yolk has cooked up solid and it won't run off. Your sandwich, let's see, boom. Look at that. So we're just going to cook that another minute. Yeah. Had to check see if my flame was still going. But I love duck eggs. I mean, it's a mouthful because, I mean, it's almost twice the size of a chicken egg. But taste-wise, there's no difference. And you can use it in recipes. And, I mean, if you're going to make a cake and you just happen to have a dozen duck eggs, you could probably substitute one duck egg for 2 chicken eggs. I'm just saying, it could happen. So, this, see how it moves around? All that yellow is getting cooked down wonderfully. It didn't quite, it kind of gooshed out here. So I'm going to flip him one more time just so he can get a hard fry all the way around. And look, this is a perfect hard fried egg because there's no brown on it. There's no yucky, nasty, hard, tough skin growing on the bottom of it from where the proteins were shocked by the heat. We ease this egg into this situation, so that's why it is so nice and soft to the touch, but it is cooked completely through. I'm going to stick him on my plate over here, and I will bring the plate over, turn my heat down, and look, that is a perfect fried egg. Look at that. Yeah, it's not my favorite way to eat an egg. I like mine runny. But this, it works. Tastes like an egg. I don't hear it quacking, which is good. That's about it, y'all. You can do a hard fried egg. You can do a soft egg. You can do a medium egg. And, I mean, when it comes to fried eggs, this is pretty much the method. So, we got one more type of egg to do. And that is a scrambled egg. So I'll be right back and I'm going to show you how to do a good scrambled egg. Okay, folks, I'm back, and I'm going to show you how I cook a scrambled egg. Now, there's a ton of different people on the internet showing different methods of cooking eggs. I get it. I just don't think that anybody should tell you that they cook the perfect egg or they know the perfect way to cook an egg. Because like I said, it might not be the perfect way for you because you might like your eggs cooked a different way. So I'm going to show you the way that I like my scrambled eggs. And truth be told, if I am going to have an egg, I'm going to scramble it because I like scrambled eggs. So take my little bowl here and my egg, and I just crack him in here. And I'm going to do a 2 scramble. Some people will add milk or water to this before they scramble it up or after they've already scrambled it up. I don't add anything because I don't think it needs it. I mean, people think, well, you can get a nice fluffy egg if you put milk in it. Well, I just like egg. I don't want any milk in it. So I'm going to take it, and I'm just going to scramble the foo out of it. I want to get these yolks incorporated into the whites perfectly. And, I mean, if you wanted to use a whisk, you can, but you don't need a whisk. Use your fork. Look at this. I'm getting some air incorporated into it. It's the perfect way to scramble an egg. Because, I mean, simple tool. Look at that. That's exactly what we want to see. Now, I'm going to start my base again with butter and some oil. So, put my oil in first. And then going in with some butter. And like I said, if you don't want to use 2 different fats, that's fine. Just watch your temperature. But I never met a stick of butter I didn't like. So, I'm all about butter. So, this butter is heated up perfectly. I'm going in with my egg. And once again, the same thing applies for scrambled eggs in my world. I don't want them brown. So I start agitating mine immediately. I just pull these corners in. I'm letting that raw egg distribute around the pan. If you wanted to put some cheese in, now would be a good time. Because I'm almost ready to take this out. I prefer a soft scrambled egg. Soft scrambled means that you haven't cooked the egg all the way through and it's still nice and moist. And that's how I like my egg, just like this. Now see, I'm going to leave this part in the pan and I'm going to show you how my mama likes it. She wants that egg done. So I would take this egg and I would chop it up a little bit for her. Just to get it done. Because this egg that I've got here, to wipe the raw off, this is still nice and creamy, and it might not be 100% cooked, but that's how I like it. But Mama don't. She likes hers rock hard, so I'm going to try this one. It's creamy and yummy, and it's my favorite. Now these eggs, well, I'm gonna get me a little spoon to get them out. Not my favorite, but lots of folks like them hard cooked. And I'm all about people liking what they like. So, see, they're not hard, because I mean, who wants that? But they are definitely done. There is very little moisture left in them that would make them feel kind of mushy or gushy in your mouth. It's definitely cooked solid. It's a good egg. That's all I'm saying. So, I hope you've learned something. I hope that you see how easy cooking an egg is. You just need a pan. You need some fat of some type. You need some good eggs. And you need just a little bit of patience because, well, you don't want to flip your egg over and bust the middle like I did on that first one. But unless that's how you like your eggs. But anyway, that's about it for my episode on eggs. I'm looking forward to doing episode 3. I'm not going to tell you what I'm working on for this next episode. Let it be a surprise. But I will tell you that it is a vegetable. How's that? You can find all kinds of information on eggs as well as the recipe on how to cook eggs over at jamieteachmetocook.com on my blog. I'm going to do a whole write-up on it so that you'll have the times and you'll have some photographs and you'll just be able to see exactly what we're talking about in the world of eggs. I hope that you liked the video. I hope you subscribe to my channel as always. I would love for you to follow me on Facebook. Just come on over and just join everything I'm available at. That would make my day. I hope that you have a great afternoon.